Hello, this is Mr. Miller and welcome to video number 0125. In this video, we're going to introduce the method of elimination. It's a powerful way to solve systems of equations. So let's start with a few examples. So in this first one, we have two equations here, both with variables x and y. And our goal is to find the values of x and y that satisfy both equations. We're looking for an ordered pair that works in both. So on this, we notice that if we just add these equations, the y's will cancel each other. So let's try that. So I'm just going to add the two equations. X plus negative 5x is negative 4x. 2y plus a negative 2y equals 0. And 10 plus 14 is 24. Already we can see why this is called the method of elimination, because the goal is to eliminate one of the variables. We eliminated y by adding the equations. And that gives us an equation with one variable that we can solve. We can go back and find the other ones. So let's keep solving this. We have an equation for x now. We have negative 4 times x equals 24, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 4, and we get x equals negative 6. We're half finished. We know that the x-coordinate, where these two lines intersect, is negative 6. We need to find the y-coordinate. So the way this works is we can take this value of negative 6 and substitute it into it, in for x in either one of these equations. Well, the first one looks easier, so I'm going to put negative 6 in for x in this first equation. So we get negative 6 plus 2y equals 10. So after we substitute the value of x into one of the equations, we can now solve for y. So if we add 6 on both sides, we get 2y equals 16. And if we divide by 2, we get y equals 8. So the ordered pair that satisfies both of these equations is negative 6 comma 8. That's our answer here. And if we graph the lines, that's the point that lies on both. Okay, that's how we can do it using algebra. Let's try this one. Again, we're just going to add the equations. I know to add the equations because we have opposites here. We have a positive 5x and a negative 5x. And if we add those, then those will cancel. All right, so 5x plus negative 5x is 0. Negative y plus a negative 2y is a negative 3y. And 25 plus a negative 25 is 0. So let's solve for y. If we divide by negative 3, we get y equals 0. And let's go back to the first equation again. This time we're substituting in for y here. So we have 5x minus 0 is 25, or just 5x equals 25 if we simplify it. And dividing by 5, we get x equals 5. So that's our solution. X equals 5, y equals 0. Okay. Sometimes addition may not work. Like here, if we add these equations, nothing cancels because 4x plus 4x is 8x. Negative 3y plus negative 9y is negative 12y, and we still have both variables. But since these are the same, they both have a positive 4x. If we subtract them, then they will cancel. And we have to remember we're subtracting this whole equation. Okay, so, all right, 4x minus 4x is 0. Here's the tricky part. Negative 3 minus a negative 9, the same as negative 3 plus 9, that's 6y. And 14 minus a negative 22 is the same as 14 plus 22, which is 36. So we have to keep straight. Are we adding the equations or subtracting them? Because there are times where we'll do both. All right, so here we go. We're going to divide by 6, and we get y equals 6. Okay. Again, we can go back to either equation. I seem to like the first one. So far, it's been the easier one. So we get 4x minus 3y, so I'm putting in 6 for y, equals 14. So 4x minus 18 equals 14. If I add 18 on both sides, I'm going to get 4x equals 32. And if we divide by 4, we get x equals 8. So our solution is 8, comma 6 to this one. Okay, so, all right. Now, when we're on our own, we're going to have to decide, do we add or subtract? Well, if I added them, what would happen? We would get negative 14x plus 4y. And none of the variables got eliminated. But if we subtract, this 2y minus 2y would be 0. So we need to subtract. Okay, so let's subtract that whole thing. Negative 6x minus a negative 8 is positive 2x. 2y minus 2y is 0. Negative 10 minus a negative 10, same as negative 10 plus 10, well, that's 0. And if we divide by 2, we get x equals 0. All right, just to be different, I'm going to put it in the second equation. Negative 8 times 0 plus 2y equals negative 10. Well, that's just 0. So we get 2y equals negative 10, and if we divide by 2, we get y equals negative 5. So our ordered pair is 0, negative 5. Okay, so these were kind of special equations. We could solve them by just adding or subtracting the equations. Sometimes we're going to have to do another step, and we'll get to that next. So what if neither addition or subtraction works? Well, we have a plan, but that's next time. All right, so in the meantime, good luck on the skill. Remember, keep practicing. That's how you get really good at math. And I love this quote on the right. Don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. That's amazing. Good luck.